Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Bob sent me a one-sentence email and said, Steve, can you please explain a mechanic's lien or a garage keeper lien? And I'm specifically talking about the liens that have to do with automobiles. Some states have got mechanic's liens, and they actually use that in reference to any work done, for instance, on a piece of property. You bring in a plumber and he works in your house and you refuse to pay him. In some states, that plumber may be able to file a lien against your property to assure that he gets paid, if nothing else, at least when the home gets sold. So I'm talking about garage keeper liens or mechanics liens on automobiles, because in Michigan, they are authorized by MCL 570.301 at SEC, and they've been around for a long, long time. And believe it or not, years ago, I had a friend who owned a gas station, and he also did mechanical work there. And at one occasion, somebody brought a vehicle in and asked him to do the work, signed the authorization, did everything by the book, and they just refused to pick up their vehicle when it was fixed. And he called me up and said, what do we do now? And I said, well, you can apply for a lien on it and go that route. So a garage keeper lien for facilities and mechanics is actually a really good website in Michigan that describes this. So in your state, if you've got this law, the process might be different, but I suspect it's similar, because the process, you'll see, has steps that make sense. So a garage keeper is somebody who is a Michigan repair facility, and they're registered as such, and they're allowed to charge compensation for storing, diagnosing, giving estimates, servicing a vehicle at the request of the owner. And there's a couple little technicalities like that are important. So for instance, if you do work on someone's car and you're not a licensed repair facility, you cannot do this. If the vehicle owner does not pay the charges due, the garage keeper can detain the vehicle and file for a garage keeper's lien. When properly filed with the Michigan Department of State, the garage keeper's lien has priority over all other liens. Note, this process cannot be used for mobile homes. Number one, mobile home is a misnomer, but they're not automobiles in that sense. To apply for a garage keeper's lien, a repair facility must be in possession of the vehicle. So in other words, if you gave the vehicle back to the owner, you can't do it. Someone's going to ask, Steve, what if they snuck onto your property and grabbed it at night? Well, it says here you must be in possession of the vehicle, so you're out of luck. Must be a licensed facility at the time of the repairs. So if you had a license and it lapsed, and you suddenly realize, hey, I got to get licensed before I can do this, it's too late. You needed to be licensed at the time of the repairs. You must have actually performed repairs or diagnostics requested by the vehicle owner. So in Michigan, you cannot do repairs before you've given somebody a written estimate and had them sign it and all that. So you better have done all those things properly. And if this is for storage, you must submit a formal storage agreement signed by the vehicle owner if you're requesting a lien placement as a result of a payment default for storage. So theoretically, you can charge storage for a vehicle, and if they don't pay that, you can go for a lien on it as well. But you can't just say, well, it's been parked in my lot, I decided to charge, $50 a day, unless you've got the agreement that they signed. So let's assume you've done those things. You apply for a garage keeper lien. The garage keeper must be in possession of the vehicle, and the garage keeper may not detain the vehicle for more than 225 days after performing the last labor or furnishing the last supplies for which a lien is claimed. The garage keeper will not be able to sell the vehicle under the lien if the sale is not within the 225-day limit. So in other words, you can't sit on it for years and years and years and then decide to do it. 225 days is the magic number. Why? Don't know. They just grabbed it out of thin air. Carefully follow the procedures below to avoid unnecessary delays in the process. You must send an application for garage keeper's lien and a $10 check or money order payable to the state of Michigan to the Department of State. And there's an address for this. The form is called a BDVR 35. Garage keeper's lien application. BDVR 35. The office can also provide the application by mail if you can't find one, but they are available online. Applications must be submitted within 105 days after the lien attaches. So again, after 105 days, but before 225, blah, blah, blah. If the application is complete, a garage keeper's lien case number will be assigned, and the Secretary of State will mail you a TR-42 certificate. That's a certificate of foreclosure of garage keeper's lien and bill of sale. You will be notified if your application is not complete, but if it is, you'll get these things back. Corrections must be made and a complete application submitted within 105 days after the lien attaches. The TR-42 will have an issue date and list all recorded owners and lien holders. So suppose someone brings a vehicle in, it's already got a lien on it, like Ford Motor Credit. Well, then they're going to have to get notified too, so they have the right to attend the auction if they want to. Within 30 days after the issue date, The garage keeper must send a certified letter, return receipt requested to all owners, lien holders, and the Bureau of Driver and Vehicle Programs containing the following: the notice of the claim, the VIN, the vehicle description, copy the itemized statement of account, including storage fees, if any, time limit for the owner to pay the bill, statement that all lien holders are being notified of the garage keeper's lien, and they have the right to take possession after paying the amount due, the date, time, manner, and place of vehicle sales, which will be 75 days at least after the TR-42 issue date. So remember, there's a bunch of time frames in here. On the TR-42 certificate of foreclosure, fill in the dates the repairs were completed and the date the certified letters were mailed. Retain the mail receipts for your records and retain the TR-42 until the sale is complete. Sell the vehicle at the time, date, manner, and place specified in the certified letter described in number 4 above. And you're supposed to have a public auction. After the sale is complete, the remainder of the TR-42 form and give that to the vehicle buyer. The buyer must take the completed TR-42 to the Secretary of State branch office and apply for a title. Title fee and tax are paid at the time at the branch office. And then you distribute the sale proceeds as follows. A, the lien amount to the garage keeper. So you pay yourself first. 2, cost of sale, if you incurred any costs during the sale. And you may have if you advertise the sale, for instance. 3, any prior lien holder who gave notice to the garage keeper. So if they didn't give notice, they're out of luck. If they did give notice, you pay them next. D, other reasonable charges of the garage keeper. And then E, if there's money left over, that goes to the previous owner. A garage keeper may have a lien for storage up to $10 a day unless otherwise agreed to in writing. Storage charges shall not exceed 120 days unless otherwise agreed to in writing. So storage charges may be in addition to the maximum lien determined in the Garage Keeper Lien Act. Lien holders are not responsible for any storage charges that accrue until 45 days following the date of the letter from item number 4 above. If no one purchases the vehicle at the public sale, the garage keeper may purchase the vehicle himself or herself. In this case, the garage keeper lien is terminated. The garage keeper must take the completed TR-42 to a Secretary of State branch office and apply for a title. If the owner or lien holder pays the vehicle charges before the sale, fill in the box at the bottom of TR-42 and return the form to the address below. If the lien holder claims the vehicle and intends to apply for a repossession title, give the completed TR-42 to them and then give them the address and so on so they can take care of that. And then, of course, there's a bunch of other related content. I'll put a link to that description below the video. And I know it's a very, very small number of people out there who'd be in a position to do this because you'd need to be a garage keeper who does repairs on vehicles in the state of Michigan and have people who don't pay for their work. But it's good to know also, if you bring your vehicle into a garage for work to get done, that this could happen to you if you don't get your vehicle paid for at the end of the repairs. And so I've had people call me and they say, Steve, I went in, I got in a dispute with the guy. Next thing I know, he sold my car. Was that legal? Depends on whether you followed this or not. So one of the things you can also look at online is all of these forms, such as the BDVR35, the Garage Keeper's Lien Application. And it's pretty simple. You just put in your business information here. Is the vehicle still in your possession? Yes or no? That's a trap for the stupid, because if you check no, then this thing's void. License plate number, vehicle year, make, VIN, name of the owner who authorized the repairs, date the repairs were completed, the amount of the repairs, storage charges began here, total number of days stored, total amount of storage. You then sign this under penalty of law, date it, and then you mail copies here with a check here to this address here, and then you follow all those time frames we talked about, and you do that. I can tell you right now, I did this one time for a client of mine, a guy I know who owned a gas station. He called me and said, Steve, somebody dropped the vehicle off, authorized repairs. I did the work, put some good time and money into this, and they won't return my phone calls. I've sent them letters. What do I do? And I said, well, if it's pretty obvious they're not coming to get the car, we got to do that right there. And we did that right there. And we actually took out ads at the time in the local newspaper. There was actually, newspapers that you could print ads in. Notice of public auction. This vehicle will be auctioned off. And we followed all the steps. And no one showed up for the auction. Imagine that. So my client wound up buying the vehicle. And I don't know if he made his money back or not, because I don't think it would have sold for how much he sunk into it. And that's one of the things he was worried about, is he said that when the person came in and said, no, I really want to get this car fixed, he said, you understand the repairs are going to be this, and it looks to me like that car in good running condition is only worth this. They're like, no. We want, and it was a little sports car. It wasn't a Fiero, but it was something like that back then. So it wasn't worth what they paid for to have it repaired, or what they didn't pay to have it repaired. So that's how the mechanics liens work, at least with respect to automobiles. Questions, comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Did everyone see that? Because I will not be doing it again.